Now let's take a look at how we would assign the colors to this design. So we put the design into the memory of the machine. We have called up the design that we wish to sew. And to assign the colors, we simply come down here. We push the Set Color Order button. We hit Enter to get into Set Color Order. And now I want to go up to number 1. And you want to come to the machine with your sewing order printout in your hand. And I know that the first color that I want happens to be white. Now, the needles on your machine, okay, run, the front right one is number 1, the one slightly angled behind it is 2, then 3, then you come back to the front again, 4, 5, 6. They run in rows of 3 at an angle from front to back on the machine. So I know that my white is in position 11. So to get to 11, I hit plus 10 and 1. Now let's talk about that for a minute. If I want 1 through 9, I would hit 1 through 9, whichever number it corresponds to. If I want 10, I hit plus 10 and 0. If I want 11, plus 10 and 1, 12, plus 10 and 2, so on and so forth. It automatically moved over to the second color in the design, which in this design happens to be red, which is on needle 3 for me. Then it sews a blue color, and I'm going to use this blue here, number 2. Then it sews black, which is on needle 6. Then it sews yellow, which is needle 5. And then it goes back to black again, which is needle 6. Now, the machine will ignore any other numbers that you see in here because it will only sew the number of colors that are in this design. I now hit the Enter button to accept that. And now we can continue to the next step. Now that we've looked at the basic features of assigning colors to a design, let's look at some of the special nuances of this machine. I'm going to assign a 15 needle color design, and I'm going to just, for argument's sake, to make this simple, I'm going to just assign it 1 through 15. This happens to be the H test. Okay, so I have in here 1 through 15, and if we go back in, you can see 1 through 15 in fact are in there. Now, what I want you to be aware of is, let's say now I realize color number 4 is incorrect. If I go up to number 4, and let's say that was supposed to be number 9. I hit 9. Enter. Now when we go back in, we've lost everything past that point. Okay? You had to type in the 9 and all of those numbers over again. Or, let me show you a better way. So now we're back in 1 through 15. And now we decide number 4 is supposed to be 9. You don't want to go into set color. We want to go into modify the needle. Now we go over to number 4. We make it 9 and accept it. And now when we go back in, you can see all the other numbers stayed. This would be very, very handy in a situation where you have a design with a lot of colors and you realize, especially somewhere early on, that you didn't set the right color and you need to modify it. Okay, another interesting feature with the machine is if we want to put in a stop, and what this is really good for, besides doing appliques, assigning where the offset's going to take place, it's also very handy when it comes to doing what we call stacking or name drops. okay, where you're sewing 20 or 30 shirts, all with different names, what you do is in your software, you create each name in a different color. When you come to the machine, you're just going to put a stop at the end of each color. And the way you would do that is you would come up and you would hit this button here, and then you would assign your color. We would assign this, and we need to do this for each one of our colors. Now what's very important, you can't just, if you were over here, you can't just come back and turn this on and assign the color, because you're going to lose all the rest after that point. So you would have to continue to assign, and of course you would be assigning the same needle each time. Now there's another way we can do that. So let's turn this feature off. Now again, let's make sure that we reassign our colors just to make sure we don't lose them. Oops, go back one. Now, if you were really doing this, oops, I put in the wrong number again. That should be 13, then 14, and 15. Okay. If you were really doing this, you would be probably using the same needle for every single one of these positions. But the other way to do a name drop is to go in to your semi-manual color change function. What that does is it will sew the first name, and then, because in between color changes the machine is going to stop now until you hit the start button, the machine would stop. You would now put on the next shirt or jacket, whatever it is that you're sewing, then hit the start button. And that's a very efficient way to do name drops or stacking. And that concludes our color change section.